The Pee Dee region has become a dumping ground for industrial and chicken wastewater sludge, plaguing farmland with nauseating odors and forever chemicals.
It smelled like sewage, but add the stench of rotting meat of chicken to it. Then my water in my well, about halfway through your shower, you start smelling chickens.
Chicken sludge is marketed to farmers as a free, nitrogen-rich fertilizer.
And it's a messy business. It's a smelly business. It is offensive to the people who live near it.
2 fields up from my house, they dumped sometimes 20 trucks a day. I'd say it was probably 500,000 gallons on them 2 fields.
Arkansas-based company Terra Renewal Services takes waste from poultry processing plants in North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Georgia and turns it into a wastewater sludge to donate to farmers in Darlington, Kershaw, Chesterfield, and Marlborough counties. Transporting chicken sludge up to 200 miles can cost thousands of dollars per truck, but alternatives such as landfilling and incinerating can be even more expensive.
They're getting the cheapest disposal they can get, and it happens to be dumping it in South Carolina.
Residents have a good reason to be suspicious of contaminated sludge. From 1993 to 2013, Darlington farmers were approached by former Society Hill textile mill Galey Lord with a similar offer of free industrial wastewater sludge as fertilizer.
We were told it'd be a good fertilizer, that it was safe.
Galey Lord shut down in 2016, but 10,000 acres of Darlington farmland that received sludge continue to produce crops. In 2019, the Environmental Protection Agency tested the wells of former Galey Lord sites for forever chemicals known as PFAS. These stain, water, and grease-resistant chemicals are used in nonstick pans, fabrics, and food packaging. They are known to cause thyroid, hormonal, and reproductive issues, as well as cancer.
Our water was so bad we weren't supposed to bathe in it. Couldn't use it for anything.
Robert O'Neill III's private well registered PFAS levels up to 550 times the EPA public drinking water maximum contaminant levels of 4 parts per trillion.
It's poisoned our wells, it's poisoned the land.
Yale scientists tested O'Neill's crops, finding high levels of the chemicals in his leafy greens, hay, lettuce, spinach, and collard greens persisting years after the textile wastewater was applied.
We've got a higher cancer rate in this county because of this. We've had some health issues in our family, some uncles that died, aunt that died. I am right at the verge of having to go for cancer screenings because of the PFAS levels in my blood.
In 2020, SCDES approved Terra Renewal's chicken wastewater sludge application permit, including thousands of acres in Darlington. The agency says that chicken sludge land application keeps waste out of landfills and recycles nutrients for free in a time when farmers are struggling to afford traditional fertilizer.
Instead of using the higher price fertilizer, we're going to use poison.
A vocal minority questioned SCDES about testing sludge for PFAS to prevent additional contamination. They also noted that almost 1,000 acres of the permitted land had previously received Galey Lord sludge.
It may complicate the nature of that contamination. We just don't know.
DES insists that they follow all guidelines and buffer zones, but there are gaps in regulation, specifically a lack of PFAS testing. DES is only required to test sludge for nutrients and metals annually.
There are other unknowns. We don't know what pharmaceuticals, what growth hormones, what chemical products necessary to the growth of these chickens.
Additionally, groundwater and surface water monitoring for runoff is not required.
So whenever we get runoff or rain, it's getting freed out back into the environment. Some areas like the Little Pee Dee River, we're getting 90 to 185 parts per trillion. This is a source of drinking water for a lot of places, and a lot of our drinking water facilities don't have the existing technology to treat that.
Bad smells and PFAS contamination from sludge has impacted the value, marketability, and end use of properties in the Pee Dee. The Galey Lord plant was designated for federal cleanup on the EPA Superfund list in 2022 for the high levels of PFAS. Sludge-applied fields have not been added to that designation.
You've created a 10,000-acre mosaic of fields that are essentially an uncontrolled hazardous waste site.
Additionally, 100 acres of former Galey Lord sludge-applied land was sold in 2022 to the Darlington County School District to build Black Creek Elementary School, which opened to students last fall. In 2023, South Carolina filed a lawsuit against PFAS manufacturers 3M and DuPont for knowingly contaminating drinking water. Both companies settled with public drinking water providers for billions of dollars and may owe more to individuals. Despite the lawsuit, the state has not passed legislation requiring testing of PFAS in sludge.
Kind of the thing that we try to discuss a lot is, states regulating, not adding to the problem, because we can't take out a lot of what's already out there.
Several states now require PFAS testing of sludge, and Maine and Connecticut are the only states to pass legislation restricting land application.
There's no limits here. They can dump whatever.
In August 2024, SCDES received a complaint regarding Terra Renewal's unauthorized land application of chicken sludge, resulting in a $16,000 fine in April 2025. Later that year in October, SCDES proposed a permit modification that would add 27 sites totaling 464 acres in Darlington to the Terra Renewal permit, while finally removing 966 acres overlapping with former Galey Lord sludge disposal sites. DES stated Terra Renewal's prior violation could not be used as a basis to deny the permit modification. PFAS-laden community members raised awareness and expressed outrage to lawmakers. In January, O'Neill traveled to the nation's capital to urge Congress to pass federal legislation regarding PFAS testing of sludge.
We went to Washington and we talked in front of the Senate, in front of the House, and I carried a mason jar of water from here, and absolutely nobody there would drink it.
Septic tank specialist Brady Hill is running for Darlington County Council in hopes of increasing local restrictions on sludge application.
This is kind of a major thing because it's going to affect generation after generation.
SCDES held a public hearing on March 19th regarding the Terra Renewal permit modification. Dozens of concerned community members packed into the county library to voice their opinions on chicken sludge and demand more notice for when sludge would be spread.
There is no proactive program of outreach to communities to let them know we're putting industrial waste in your community. There's going to be odor problems here for the next several weeks.
They pretty much told us it was not their purview to check what was in it or where it was put or anything like that.
Community members also brought up Black Creek Elementary School, demanding SCDES test the soil.
Now we have students, we have kids, we have future generation sitting on top of PFAS.
Following backlash at the meeting, SCDES promised to test the school's soil. On June 23rd, they found that the soil did contain PFAS and other chemicals, but, quote, not at a concerning level, end quote. However, the DES risk assessment stated that students who attend the school from kindergarten to grade 5 have a hazard index above the safe level of 1 at 1.67 for a type of PFAS known as PFDA. The agency suggests that the school eventually cover the soil and that students and teachers wash their hands after outdoor activities.
They're trying to say it's safe, but then they recommend cleaning your shoes and washing your hands when you come in.
If I'm a parent of a 7-year-old and they're going to that playground every day, I'm not going to be comforted by that vague bureaucratic interpretation of the situation.
Despite community resistance, SCDES passed the Terra Renewal permit modification on July 1st, adding 460 acres of Darlington farmland.
I reckon we just have to keep protesting it.
With the South Carolina Environmental Law Project, I'm Lucy Dixon.